DC Multiverse!
Well, check out this version of Superman. I call him Gladiator Soups. Ready to fight in the gladiatorial arena of War World. Originally, this version of the character was created and styled for the Future State DC universe, and came from the title Superman, Worlds of War. And this is a pretty great representation of that character, who comes with, obviously, a trading card. Choose to read the back or not, entirely your decision. And he also comes with his shield, with a very basic Kingdom Come style S insignia on the front, and a battle axe for not cleaving bad guys. You'll notice that there's no blood on it. Interestingly enough, this would not be the first time we would see a Gladiator Soups. Way back in the day, the same kind of story, sort of, a little bit, took place. Only he had a beard in that one, and someone wore his boots on their hands. Even though this is not my favorite look for Superman, you know, he's basically just wearing leather skivvies with a great big belt and his insignia right there. Chains across the chest, holding his S right there. Very Kingdom Come style. Cape attached to the rusted chains that goes over his shoulders. Look at all the tears and holes in the bottom here. Each wrist with its slave chain shackle. We can see that Superman's are broken, and also the shackles around his legs there, including the one around his neck, which means he's no longer a slave to Mongol. I'm not sure exactly how the chains are supposed to be staying up around his back like that. I got a funny feeling maybe they were supposed to go up, maybe, and attach. I don't know. I don't remember that from the source material, so I'm not really sure. I haven't really thought about that. As for his boots, I've always wondered as I read, are they brown because they're just really dirty? Or are they brown because he made new boots? But they do have that very classic, typical Superman design to them. I really like the muscle structure for this guy. Big biceps, veins pulsating. He's got that little cut on his abdomen right beside his belly button there. This is a battle-worn Superman. And for the face sculpt, I think the hair is spot on. I like that a lot. And you got the gray along the sides there, which also matches the source material. It's been done quite well. Not a huge fan of exactly how the teeth were painted, and he's got the side eye, which sucks considerably. But overall, I'd say the figure looks pretty darn cool. Here he is in comparison to a bunch of other McFarlane Superman figures. 7-inch page punchers, Dark Knight Returns, your classic original body soups. Here's a close-up look at the shield. They did a really good job reproducing this from the original source material. It's got a lot of detail, a lot of nicks and cuts. It looks really battle-worn, and you got that insignia that's been bolted onto the front. I like this a lot. Turning it around, again, the details don't stop. You can see the wood on the back of the shield, or really whatever it's made of. You got the straps that hold it onto his wrist. You got another little backwards Superman House of L insignia there, a crudely formed one. This is a really well-made shield accessory. Same thing with this battle axe. It's actually accurate to the source material. This picture right here has a good shot of this battle axe, and yeah, they did a really good job reproducing this. It might have been kind of nice if there was just a little bit of antiquing done to the blade here, a little bit of scuffing as far as maybe some sort of a wash over the blade, but honestly, I think that it looks still pretty good as is. And at this point, I think it's time that we check out what the articulation is exactly. So, we have torso articulation, and when you combine that with the waist articulation, there's a really good, solid range of movement there. I'd say it's good for a flight pose, only this version of Superman doesn't fly. But that's not terrible. I like that torso articulation. You have the rounded hinges, you got the little socket there, really good range of motion, back and forth is really well. Arms go up far enough for my liking. You have the bicep with the full 360. You've got double jointed elbows there. They're not as ugly as some. Sometimes the elbows on the McFarlane figures can be just a tad ugly looking. These aren't that bad. Then you've got the fists, and I do like the fact that these shackles, they hide the ugly rounded hinge. You do have less mobility because of that, but honestly, I don't really care. Head sculpt on a rounded ball joint there. And there's a pretty good range. That's not bad at all. Nope. No problem here. And then we have the groin. Ta-da! And that's what he's got down there. Same as always. And he's got some forward and backwards rotation. And I like the fact it can go out. in always. They can always do that, but not always do they go outwards. So I like this. If it's not a thigh cut, I don't mind that. We have double jointed knees on this boy, and you can see they're quite articulated. The ankles are a place where I think some folks are going to be annoyed because the shackles, they definitely get in the way. Definitely. And of course we have that toe articulation. So what do I think about Gladiator Soups? I like him. I'm actually really enjoying this figure. He's a lot of fun to fiddle with. He looks more or less pretty much like he does in the source material. The skin tone looks nice. I don't mind that at all. Same thing with the brown and red. I think that this figure is just really eye-catching. I'm currently reading the story, so it's nice to have a little three-dimensional representation of the version of Superman that I'm currently reading about. I don't really know who I would pose him with on the shelf. He would just kind of be, you know, like a unique one-off. But I definitely like him. If you see him hanging around on the pegs looking all lonely and bored and like he was wishing he was in your shopping cart, well, do him a favor. Put him in there. Take him home, add him to your collection, introduce him to the rest of your DC Multiverse figures. I'm sure he'll fit right in, and I will see you with the next one. Have a super awesome DC day, everybody, and take care. Bye for now.